Donald Trump is panicking as his war plans are now backfiring in his face. Just moments ago, U.S. oil prices surged another 9% after Donald Trump announced that the United States is reimposing its so-called blockade on the Strait of Hormuz, with ships now required to pay Donald Trump a fee of 20% of the cargo's value on their ships. Now, Iran's foreign minister instantly responded and mocked Donald Trump. Iranian Foreign Affairs Minister Araghchi writes, "POTUS is absolutely right. Whoever provides secure and safe passage of commercial vessels through the Strait of Hormuz should be compensated for this service. Iran has always been the guardian of the strait and will remain so forever. 20% is, of course, too much. We will be fair." Iran mocking Donald Trump for saying the United States will forever now be known as the guardian of the Strait of Hormuz, and the U.S. will function as a mercenary or pirate, and the U.S. will control the Strait of Hormuz and charge a 20% fee for the value of the cargo on these vessels in order for the U.S. mafia's protection. And Donald Trump's just making up this cosplay fiction of what's going down. The United States does not control the Strait of Hormuz, although Donald Trump is now reimposing a blockade. Iran still remains in control of the Strait of Hormuz. We're not seeing a lot of shipping activity at all. The only ships we're really seeing are going through the Iran route, but now that's about to stop. And now Donald Trump has said that he will be delivering an address to the nation on Thursday night at 9 Eastern. There are some speculating that this is about further escalation of the war. Others are speculating that he's going to try to claim that the 2020 election was rigged and that behind the scenes he's been working with Maduro and Maduro's counsel to try to say that Maduro rigged the 2020 election against him and that he's going to do an announcement trying to overturn the results of the 2020 election through a press conference to the nation. Now, moments ago, we're also learning that Iran has been striking some of the remaining tankers in the Strait of Hormuz that are not using the IRGC route. Donald Trump's just wrapping up a press conference about the Grand Prix 250. Freedom 250, this is an event that he says will be next month in D.C., turning Washington, D.C. into a 1.7-mile Grand Prix track. And so while Donald Trump has escalated this catastrophic war as gas prices are now surging, as the American people are suffering, he held a Grand Prix press conference, but during the conference, he says, "We're the ones pushing Iran around for 47 years. They were pushing people around. They're not pushing us around. We're pushing them around." That's Donald Trump's view of the past 40 years. Iran was always pushing. We were the weak and pathetic ones, and now look how strong we look. The Strait of Hormuz is closed, and now we're saying we're mercenaries and that we've turned our navy into mercenaries. We're the strong ones. Here's what Donald Trump just said in this bizarre and disastrous press conference. Here, play this clip.
As we are right now. In addition to that, we have the strongest military in the world. You saw that with Venezuela. You're seeing that right now with Iran for 47 years in a row. They were pushing people around. They're not pushing us around. We're pushing them around.
Now, this is just surfacing as well. Apparently, 3 days back, Donald Trump formally notified Congress of the resumption of military activities against Iran under the so-called War Powers Resolution. You'll recall that Congress has already passed a War Powers Resolution vote against Donald Trump. Congress needs to act immediately. This is so utterly pathetic. Our Congress more ineffective than the Russian Duma at this point, just letting Donald Trump invade, resume. The reality is that this is an unlawful and catastrophic war, that this letter, Donald Trump's like, well, we had peace before and now we're back to war. And so the last 5 months, we were actually in a peaceful situation and now we're back at war, and don't count the others for this 60 days War Powers Resolution. No, this entire war from the outset is unlawful, okay? But when you read it, the letter that Donald Trump just sent to Congress that's now surfacing, or he sent 3 days ago that's now surfacing, it kind of, again, is consistent with my theory earlier this morning that Trump is preparing a ground invasion of Iran with special forces. I don't think it's that complex of a theory. Again, if you look at the targets that Trump is hitting on the coast of the Strait of Hormuz, it's the exact type of targets you would hit if you were prepping the terrain for a ground invasion. Here are two paragraphs that stand out as Heba Nasser explains. This is what Trump says in his letter. I acted pursuant to my constitutional authority as commander-in-chief and as chief executive to conduct United States foreign relations. United States armed forces remain postured to take further action as necessary and appropriate to address further threats and attacks upon the United States or its allies and partners, and to ensure the government of the Islamic Republic of Iran ceases being a threat to the United States and to our allies and partners. So you invade, you bring your military there, and then you say, we're acting very defensively right there. This is a defensive offensive, and we're ready to go. So to me, that also goes along with my theory that we're preparing a ground invasion. It should be noted that the Houthis in Yemen have also just said that Saudi Arabia, we saw Saudi Arabia carry out strikes on the Sana'a airport in Yemen, and they destroyed a lot of the airstrips over there. We saw that earlier. And then the Houthis have now retaliated, striking Abha International Airport in Saudi Arabia. Let me show you the footage that we have coming out of Saudi Arabia, a direct hit by the Houthis there. This whole region right now is erupting and is on fire right now. Here, play this clip. Also, the foreign minister of Oman just recently issued a statement saying that the old security arrangements that we've relied on to contain Iran for many decades is now over, and we need to just rethink this, meaning the United States security umbrella is now a massive liability for Arab nations, and allowing the United States in this region is causing the instability that the United States has promised that it was going to fix. I should note, IRGC Navy, again, continues to control the Strait of Hormuz. They've issued the following warning again to all vessels, and they've been doing warning shots at vessels that have tried to go through the Strait of Hormuz. For your own safety and safety of your crew, do not approach the Strait of Hormuz. You will be fired upon. Turn around immediately or face the consequences. And several vessels that did not do that have been shot at by Iran. And meanwhile, this is what Donald Trump was doing this weekend while he was escalating this catastrophic war in Iran. You see him right there with Natalie Harp, who's referred to as his human printer. Others call her something else relating to him. And just look what he was doing, holding up, this is real, he was holding up posters of Hillary Clinton, Biden, and Kamala wearing hats that say, I lost to Trump. This is what this deranged psychopath is doing right now while you're suffering. Also, the total U.S. federal debt is now up to a record $39.4 trillion, rising $3.2 trillion over the last 12 months. Donald, didn't you say you brought in $19.2 trillion? So how is it possible that $3.2 trillion has been added to the debt if you brought in $19.2 trillion? Oh, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that Donald Trump is lying about numbers yet again? All the guy does is lie. And again, while he's escalating in Iran, while Iran is responding, and while there's a full-fledged war taking place, you have the Grand Prix executives over there giving Donald Trump his own very special helmet. Here, play this clip.
Thank you again for this opportunity. And I think we have a special helmet for you. Am I right, Alex? We do. We hope you will wear that when you're riding around in the Beast, leading the field. Come to the green flag. Again, thank you, sir. Bud Denker.
Then you have Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy saying, Donald, everything you do is huge and big and great, and you're the greatest and huge and great and big. Are these the most pathetic, scummy humans you've ever seen? Here, play this clip.
As you're going 200, 250 around the track, true athletes. So to have you all here and to have the cars here is fantastic. And again, just finally, Mr. President, thank you for your leadership. You don't do anything that's small. Everything you do is big. It's huge. It's the best. It's the greatest. Whether it's the UFC fight or an IndyCar race in the Capitol, we appreciate your leadership. America loves you, and thank you for making this happen.
And then Donald Trump's like, guess what, everybody? To the American people, remember how I promised you affordability, no more never-ending wars, homes, half the price of electricity? Here's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you cars at a level that you've never seen before, racing around Washington, D.C. Come to think about it. How good is that? Here, play this clip.
Horsepower and ingenuity. You're going to see cars at the level that they've never been at before, with cars racing more than 190 miles and even higher than that down Pennsylvania Avenue. It wasn't exactly designed for that, but what Sean Duffy's done with these incredible, brilliant people is really amazing. It's going to be a sight for the ages. It really will be something special. And they're going to go all around the National Mall at speeds that are not quite, if we did that during the regular day, I think people would be put in jail perhaps for the rest of their lives, right?
And then Donald Trump says, you know, these racers, these Grand Prix racers, right? These are the most courageous people that there are. Here, play this clip.
These people have a lot of courage on my right. I don't want to do what they did. You could teach me, but it still takes something special, right? Gilbert, I know every one of you. What a great job you've done. I want to thank Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duff, who's a phenomenal guy. He's doing a great job.
And then he held up his helmet. He reacts after being gifted his personalized helmet. Also, there are dozens of FBI agents at Lindsey Graham's home right now. I raised the issue delicately and in a fact-based way that I thought there were some red flags regarding Lindsey Graham's death. I was very careful. I said, here's what Lindsey Graham's people are saying, okay? But let's talk about what he said, that he was feeling sick before. And, you know, my only point is that if it was this kind of long-term cardiac issue that he had, why would he be not going to the hospital right away? And why would he also be saying that, you know, I'm feeling sick and I'm getting sick gradually and maybe I'll just wait? If you knew you had this fatal condition, wouldn't you know how to, you know, wouldn't you think you would know that you had to go to the hospital? Anyway, there's a lot more to the video I made earlier this morning, but there are 20 FBI agents there right now, or dozens of FBI agents. And then I'll just share this with you. There are now anti-ICE protests outside the office of Senator Susan Collins after that deadly shooting in Maine earlier involving ICE agents. Let me show you that. Here, play it.
17 minutes past the hour right now. Anti-ICE protests outside the office of Senator Susan Collins after a deadly shooting in Maine involving an ICE agent. This is Bedford, where the shooting happened, about 25 minutes south of Portland. Our correspondent Alexis McAdams is reporting live here in New York City. She's got the latest details on what is happening there. Alexis?
Hey, Sandra. So as you can see here on your screen, this is a live look at what's going on in Maine. We know federal agents are trying to piece together everything that happened as witnesses tell local media that ICE agents surrounded a car and repeatedly ordered the driver to get out. Then seconds later, we're told they heard gunshots, and it was also captured on surveillance video. Listen to this.
There you have it, everybody. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers, y'all. Let's get to 7 million. Thanks for watching.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.